is Omar Zaza. I'm an assistant professor in race and resistance studies, and I'm a member of Faculty for Justice in Palestine.
And the rally here today was basically being organized during the summer. People were getting ready. What's going to happen now that some of the firms have been divested of by San Francisco State University?
Well, so this is, I think, an important win, right? We had this agreement for divestment from companies including Palantir, Caterpillar, and Leonardo, as well as this screening now for companies to make sure that they're not violating human rights, right, as sort of a prerequisite for investment moving forward. It's an important deal. Now what remains to be seen is, first, how is the follow-through going to be? What's it going to look like? But also, secondly, what's the future of student organizing, not just for this campus, but, nationally going to look like? We're also at a moment where we're seeing, universities kind of institute these new time, place, and manner policies that are very blatantly an attempt to stop students from congregating and doing the types of demonstrations that we saw, just a few months back, including encampments and including holding signs and things of that nature. So that's why we're here as faculty, to continue to send the message that what the students have done so far is amazing. We're proud of them, we're inspired by them, but we're also going to continue to support them as they do the organizing that needs to continue to happen to make sure Palestine is free and the genocide is ended.
And the repression, I was here in 1968. Yeah. There was repression then. It seems like they want to shut down the ability of students, not just here, but at many campuses around the country, expel students. Students have been expelled at UCI, other campuses. Do you think there needs to be a unified movement against this kind of repression? The right to free speech, they're saying you're really not going to have it anymore when it comes to Palestine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we definitely need to continue to push for unity because, we're all in this in individual positions in a certain sense, right? Some of us are students, some of us are faculty, but together we're all invested in the cause of Palestinian liberation, and ending university complicity in genocide, imperialism, and war. And so we do need to continue to come together to fight for what's right and to support one another in our ability to advocate, agitate for righteous change.
And a lot of the students here, it's a working class university, are in debt. Some of them are homeless. It seems like this country has billions, unlimited billions for war, but they can't even take care of the students here in this university in this country.
Exactly. It's outrageous, and it begs the question, where are your priorities? Why are we invested in death and destruction? We can't even invest in our own communities. We can't have a campus that actually enables students to get the education that should be a right for everybody, right?
And the trustees, who do the trustees represent? Are there any students or any workers in the trustees at State University of California?
Well, the trustees, I think we're seeing so far from the policies that are in place, whatever the nominal, policy is, we're seeing what their interests actually lie, and that's what we need to fight to change at this moment.
And the politicians here in San Francisco, you have Nancy Pelosi, you have Gavin Newsom, who's from San Francisco. It seems like they're hardcore supporters of Israel, of Zionism. What does that mean for students, for faculty here who want a fundamental change in the policy of the United States?
It means that, unfortunately, we have a system where, your party affiliation doesn't change the fact that you're united in investment in imperialism, genocide, and warfare. And so we need to understand that we can't rely on any single politician, politician or party to liberate us. We need to be the ones fighting for change, and we need to leverage our power to make our voices heard and to make sure that fundamental systemic change takes place rather than invest in the cult of personality.
And at the Democratic Convention, there was a struggle to get a Palestinian American to speak there. That was stopped. No Palestinian American voice. Also, the word genocide was not even mentioned once at the convention. Where does that leave people who want a political alternative in this country?
Well, I think the Democrats have made it clear. We are the party of genocide. Not only are we the party of genocide, we don't even care to be able to give the superficial sort of identity politic representation to you. We're that proud of being, having this blood on our hands, right? So it should show people that, the system is the root cause of the rot of all of these issues, and we need to be fighting and pushing everybody, right, to continue to change these things and not rely on the institutions that claim to be representing us, to then turn right around and do the exact opposite.
And the California Faculty Association, I know San Francisco State, they've taken some positions. What should labor be doing? What should workers in this country be doing?
Well, I like to look at it as also like how can we be doing things to work with labor, because, for example, we're faculty, but we also need to understand that we as faculty have a particular way that we can leverage our labor. Now, laborers, workers also have particular ways that they can leverage things, to shut down business as usual, to make it clear that they won't be, supporting a genocide. But we also need to unite together, as a broader front, because we all have individual stakes, but we all have unique possibilities within our circumstances that we need to really be coming together to fight together for.
And in 1968, the faculty here went on strike with the students. They got support from the Labor Council. It seemed like that was very important in the victory that was held here that got ethnic studies and got some advances. Do you think that same kind of unity with labor is needed today?
I think we need to do whatever we can, wherever we are, to make it clear that there will be no business as usual until we shut it down and, call for a free Palestine.
My name's Rob. I'm a grad student at SF State.
And what did you think of the rally? Why did the rally take place? And what are the issues behind this rally today?
I think it was an important issue to bring up, the fact that last semester we did successfully have an encampment. We received some key concessions from the university. It's good to highlight to new students who might not know exactly what happened last semester.
The rally today was about the fact that we had already had 3 out of our 4 demands met, and we were just going over that and also going over what we had gone through during the summer in our organization.
And what's going to happen now? Because they say that they have divested. Is that fight going to continue?
Oh, well, yeah. The fight doesn't end in divestment of one school. The fight doesn't end in divestment at all schools, quite frankly. Because the fight only ends when the genocide is done in Palestine. So what we're doing now is essentially trying to make bigger bases and trying to organize across sectors to create a wider front where we can actually fight for leverage, where we can free Palestine.
And the repression that's coming down, the students have been expelled at other campuses. Mm-hmm. There's been repression. What do you think about that?
Well, it's nothing new. It's nothing that people haven't already experienced throughout history and the struggle. It's something that is almost known. It's something that you should expect when you try to go into a struggle, because what we're fighting against is something that does not want us to have something new. So if there are to be repercussions, that's how you know you're on the right track almost. They wouldn't force us down if we were not actually trying to rise above something.
And what student are you? What are you studying?
I'm a race and resistance major.
Has the Ethnic Studies Department supported this rally?
Yeah. What's it called? We have an amazing amount of support from our faculty. We've had that consistently throughout the encampment, and we have it consistently now.
Has the university said you can have another encampment or not another encampment?
The university has not spoken on the encampment, or they have not given us permission, I should say. They haven't really, no.
You got permission for this rally today?
I think you would have to ask a faculty about that. I'm not fully certain.
What about the role of the money that's going to the war and students? What the conditions of students here on the campus? A lot of the role of money going to the war and the students on the campus, their conditions, economic conditions.
Oh well, it's a poison that's affecting 2 things at the same time. As much as the poison is affecting us in our economic hardships, as hard as it already is, it's only an addition, and it's only another heartache to see this little that we can scrape up then going to funding a genocide, when the government has so much money and seems to just willingly throw it away towards a genocide while people are starving on the streets here.
And how much do you pay for tuition here at San Francisco State?
I'm actually not fully certain, but I do know that tuition has increased exponentially since, I believe, 2016. It might have been $12K, and it's only increased, I don't know how much.
And they raised the registration fees?
Yeah.
What do students think about that?
Everything is raising, and the fact is that students are not happy about it, but what I think is truly important is that students do not know that they can actually do something about it. Because it's one thing to understand that this is happening, but it's another thing to say, oh, this is happening, but I can actually do something about it. I can actually prevent this. I can stand up to it.
I'm Brian. I'm a 3rd year here. At SF State, I'm a cinema and history double major.
And this rally today said that they were successful in getting some divestment of companies that do business with Israel. You think that it's going to end here, or you think it's going to grow?
Well, we have to grow. Divestment's not enough. We could divest from every university campus in the country, and the genocide could still continue. What we're really looking for is an end to all U.S. aid to Israel.
And the university here, the CSU, they're trying to put additional restrictions on the right of students to organize, even to have a rally, have an encampment. What do you think about that, those measures that they're taking?
Yeah, so on our campus specifically, the president, Lynn Mahoney, has committed to defend student activism.
You believe her?
Well, we'll see. If she really, stands for that commitment to student activism, she won't retaliate against us. But throughout the CSUs, the UCs, throughout the country, there's been an increase in repression against students, fighting for a free Palestine, fighting for an end to this genocide, fighting for an arms embargo. And it's clear what the reason is. If we start asking for a free Palestine, if we start fighting for a free Palestine, if we start getting divestment all across the country, the people will see that we can win.
And it seems like there's unlimited money for wars, billions of dollars, but a student, how much do you pay for tuition?
I pay $4,000 a semester for tuition. The school used to be free, but the funneling of money into war and police, occupations across the world, American intervention across the world, that has to stop. Our money has to come back to us. Our money has to be for education, for housing, for healthcare, not for war and occupation across the world.
And why would they spend money on bombs and war when they can't even take care of students, when you don't have national health care? Students are homeless on this campus.
Yeah, we live in a capitalist country. The corporations, big business, they collaborate with the state because they need to make profit, and eventually that means they need to expand outside the country. When they need to expand outside the country, well, they have to ask the U.S. military to help them.
And the politicians here in San Francisco, Nancy Pelosi, Scott Wiener, Gavin Newsom, they believe that we should support Israel and that we should continue to arm them. What do you have to say to them?
Oh, well, we're their constituents. We want a free Palestine. We want an end to this genocide. We want an arms embargo. If they think we can just walk away from the suffering and mass slaughter of the Palestinian people, well, they're wrong.
So you're going to continue this struggle here?
Yeah, we're going to continue this struggle until we win, until we see a free Palestine.